This is what most folks commonly refer to as a drum kit or drum set. When it comes to the process of recording said drum kit, there's infinite possibilities for how you can choose to go about that. In all my time of recording drums, I've acquired quite a few microphones. So today we're going to be using some various combinations of these microphones to try out some rather unconventional recording techniques. Our first method here is going to be a very innovative drum recording technique. It's a 3-mic setup. You're going to be exercising 2 hand mics and 1 head mic. What does that mean exactly? Well, as you can see right there, that's a very good technique for getting some nice texture. You really get the sound of the mics moving around and making a lot of noise. It's really great if you want to add some nice, unique texture to your drum recordings. For this next method, we have a little something that I like to call putting all the mics on the floor. So generally, most people don't think of adding floor mics when they record their drums, but we do things a little different over here. So this is going to be a 4-mic setup, and all the mics are going to be on the floor. That technique right there is to get a very unique sound that no one else is really doing. Really captures the underside of the snare very well, but other than that, pretty much no detail. So if that's the type of sound you like, then this drum method is great for you. Next up here, we have a very nice and simple technique that you can do with only 1 microphone. I like to call this one the wall mic. Who's Mike? Can somebody tell me who Mike is? Sometimes when you're recording drums, you might add a wall mic into your drum mix. This is just to add a little bit of extra noise from the reverberations of your drum set off the walls of your room. So we're going to record with just a wall mic. That right there is a great technique if you love getting a little bit of that wall noise in there. This next technique is another one that you're actually only going to need 1 microphone for. This one I like to call the helicopter. See how that one sounds, eh? See how that one sounds. So that method right there has a very unique sound. The drums are almost completely unintelligible over the handling noise of the microphone swinging around my head, but I think it adds a nice, unique texture and character to your drum recordings if that's something that you're interested in. Next up here, I want you to direct your attention down here. Down here. The floor tom, a classic component in any drummer's drum kit, and as you can see, mine does not have a bottom drum head. We are going to record the drums through the bottom of the floor tom. So obviously this method right here is a great way to capture that feeling of what it's like to stick your head inside of the floor tom and then listen to somebody playing the drums. Honestly, a very cool perspective and something that you could add into your mixes. So one issue that a lot of drummers may find is that they get a lot of pedal noise in their drum recordings. A lot of times it'll be like a squeaking or a creaking noise from your kick drum pedal or your hi-hat pedal. For most people, this is a pretty undesirable sound. But like I said, we do things a little bit differently here. So this next technique is a 2 microphone setup, and we're gonna mic both of the pedals. So as you can see right there, the pedal mic technique is a great way to pick up the sound of your pedals. Also, you're capturing a little bit of floor noise, which is always nice. And can't forget, we're capturing a little bit of the kick drum and the bottom of the snare as well. So personally, I think this is a great drum recording technique. For this next technique here, you may have noticed that my voice sounds a little bit different. That's because I'm wearing a lav mic. I'm wearing a lav mic. So for this next drum recording technique, you're only going to need a lav mic. I like to call this one, I forgot to take my lav mic off while I was playing the drums technique. So that technique right there is great for capturing a widespread sound of your drum kit while also simulating a very real life situation. I forgot to take my lav mic off while I'm recording drums. technique. This next technique here is going to be perfect for achieving a very nice, dead, muted kind of drum sound. I like to call this one maximum mutage. And we're actually going to be exercising a somewhat, dare I say, normal microphone placement pattern. We have one microphone inside the kick, and we have a snare top and a snare bottom. But the real magic here comes obviously with the muting. As you can see, we have completely covered the entire kick with a sleeping bag. Most people put sleeping bags on the inside of their kicks. We do it a little different around here. As you can hear right there, that one gives you a very nice muted sound. Obviously at a cost, because you have to cover yourself with a sleeping bag and put a bunch of pillows on your drums. But sometimes that's the price you gotta pay for nice sounding drums. The next method that I've got for you here today is going to be a great one if you feel like your drum recordings are lacking a little detail in the snare drum department. I like to call this method very detailed snare drum method. As you can see right here, we have about as many microphones on this snare drum as one man could possibly wish for. Our arsenal consists of this classic snare top microphone paired with this snare top microphone, which is actually a condenser mic, so that'll give it a little bit of a different sound. Then we also have the side of the snare drum mic right here. We also have a bottom snare drum mic and this overhead snare drum mic, which should capture the overall sound of the snare. So this should, in theory, give us a lot of detail in our snare drum. As you can hear right there, I think we captured the maximum amount of detail that we possibly could on that snare drum. And not gonna lie, unironically, it actually did sound kind of good, the recording, but... So that is pretty much going to do it for me here in this video today. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'm sure you learned a lot here from these very advanced and very professional drum recording techniques. Give some of these a try if you want. Let me know what other weird drum miking combinations you've got. Social media links and all that other stuff will be down in the description below if you want to go check them out. And I will see you guys next time.